most of the questions you have answered in your own case studies which are there. But based on our experience, there are three most important things for genetic testing, both for clinicians as well as the laboratory people. So coming in schema of things, the first thing is the test. If you want to do a genetic test, a clinician or the laboratory person should understand the biology of the disease. The classic example being the first case study what Dr. Sridevi has showed, most of you know, is Duchenne muscular dystrophy. We have seen clinicians asking for straight away on the gene panel or NGS gene panel for Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is not the way it has to be done, because 80 to 85% of the mutations in Duchenne muscular dystrophy are caused by large deletions, for which you don't need to do any NGS because it's an overkill. You can just do a simple multiplex PCR or MMPA. So this is just an example. There are hundreds of examples. Like for example, spinal muscular atrophy is caused by large deletions in SMN1 gene, which is a notorious gene with huge amount of pseudogene content, and nobody will do an NGS for SMA. So one needs to understand the biology of the disease and the pros and cons of the technology platform. You cannot use whatever the platform is fancy. There are very, very cost-effective technology platforms. So it has to be agnostic and it has to be suited for the test depending upon what you are looking at. That is the number one. The second thing which we have been facing a lot of challenges, and maybe some inroads we have made, is convincing the clinicians, because clinicians who have some kind of genetic background and been there in the genetic practice for a long time can understand. But many of the clinicians, they know advantages of genetic testing, but they do not really understand what needs to be done to make the test results more effective. We always had challenges in getting the proper clinical information. So they always come up with questions, why do you need it? Or there will be a diagnosis with one word. Or they don't even tell the diagnosis, they say that do this panel. So when any NGS test or any genetic test is done, you get a huge amount of data. So from the data, you need to do interpretation, which is the most challenging part. So unless and until the clinician gives us proper clinical information, not just diagnosis, they need to give symptoms A to Z in a controlled vocabulary, because when we look into databases, there is a controlled vocabulary. You cannot call a seizure as an epilepsy, or you cannot call it as a fits or something like that. There is, for every term, there is a controlled vocabulary. Preferably uncontrolled vocabulary, otherwise the symptoms have to be as comprehensive as possible. And we have seen in our experience that if there are good number of symptoms and possibly differential diagnosis, about 50 to 60% of the cases using just targeted sequencing panels, we will be able to really get the most likely pathogenic mutation if you do a proper test. But there are about a lot of cases where even after giving the symptoms, or even after giving differential diagnosis, even after doing a comprehensive test like exome sequencing, we may not get answers. That has to be something to be understood by clinicians and have to be counseled to the patients, saying that there is a very high chance, there is about in exomes about 50 to 60% chance that there could be a negative result, or we may not say there could be just a variant of unknown significance. We don't know what is that variant doing. This is where we have challenged, trying to convince some of the clinicians and also the patients, saying that yes, there is something which we don't know, because the challenge is the time factor. What many of us used to do in research for about few months trying to identify one gene, one mutation, now it is becoming kind of a scenario where we have to do it in just 6 to 8 weeks. Even though there have been technologies, it's not named from few millions and few thousands of variants coming down to one variant is not always possible. Yes, if you have right amount of clinical information in exomes, about 40%, 35 to 40% of the times you will be able to identify the pathogenic one. In NGS panels,